Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Hot Games Only, the show where we talk about everything that's hot in the world of games. I'm your host Ethan, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host with the co-most, it's Hunter. Hey Hunter, how's it going?
Oh, I'm just Jim Crack and Dandy today. Me and my great webcam here. It's very swell.
I thought you were going to break the mold. I thought, hey, first video podcast, hey, maybe I'll break the mold, but it's just not happening. I'm also joined by the Weeb Wonder himself, it's Kyle. Hey Kyle.
How's it going, dude? Real excited for
I'm
this
alright.
episode.
I'm not excited because I feel like this is going to be a garbage truck on fire to render. And then,
Dude, we started off with Jim Crack and Dandy.
What could possibly go wrong?
We can only go up from here.
What could possibly go wrong? And to round off our four-piece right here, it's the Backstreet Boy himself. It's Sam. Hey Sam, how's it going? Dude?
Don't call me that. Jesus Christ.
You have been on the podcast three
Like
times.
once.
He's called you that a couple times by
Has
now.
he?
Yeah, I've called you the Backstreet Boy before,
Yeah.
dude.
Maybe I just ignored
Yeah.
it before.
Yeah, dude. That's your nickname. How's it going, Sam? Welcome back after
I'm
often.
doing alright. I'm doing alright.
Yeah, dude. Are you ready to talk about some games, underrated games that deserve more love than they get? Are you ready to talk about it?
Yeah, I've got a few here to go through.
That's
Here we
great.
go.
But first, let's go through all the spiel. This is Hot Games Only, where we come to you every Monday at 5 p.m. BST, 12 p.m. EST, I guess. 5 p.m. UK, 12 p.m. Eastern. I don't know why I went with the specific time zone dates. I don't know. But we'll come to you and talk to you about everything in the world of video games. For the first time ever, bit of housekeeping, we're doing a video podcast. Hooray! This is going to be a nightmare. The video version has now got a reason to exist, so you can head on over to bit.ly/thegiggers, that's bit.ly/thegiggers, hit us with a sub, and then you can watch the video feed on the channel. And you can see our beautiful faces. We've never done anything like this before. I think we've only done the reaction videos with the webcams on the channel, so this is
Correctamundo.
Yeah.
this is the first time for everyone. So yeah, video version now has a reason to exist, so head on over to the YouTube channel if you like that. If not, you can find us on podcast services everywhere, including Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. So head on over to the Twitter @TheGiggersYT to get all the links to every social media platform that we're on, every podcast platform that we're on. And you can also keep in the know on HGO. Well, hey, I said the thing. So I think I've said everything. It's also episode 20. What I wanted to do was I wanted to be like hey guys, it's episode 20. Let's look at some stats. I didn't have time to pull the stats together. So we'll do it for episode 25. Because that's like half a season, right? That's like
Just
half a
as
year.
important.
Yeah, that's like half a year, right? We'll do it like every 25 episodes.
That's a quarter of 100.
Makes sense, right? Makes sense. So we'll do some stats.
God, can you imagine doing 100 episodes of this?
We're gonna get it there, dude. We're nearly a quarter of the way there, which is scary. That's scary.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. One thing to keep note of is I'm just gonna say to you guys now: if someone sees that Hunter's webcam freezes, for the love of God, say something again, because that was funny. When we were doing the pre-show,
Testing this out was fun.
yeah, when we were doing the pre-show, Hunter's webcam when we were doing sync literally just froze as soon as I said, "Okay, Hunter, do your sync." And so that was funny. But no, with that out of the way, let's talk about some underappreciated games. That's the topic this week on our stretch of the summer of no games are coming out. So we've got a bullshit 6 episodes out of nowhere. So who wants to start? Because Sam's got a lot of games.
Yeah,
and
Sam
also,
has like a million
he's a
games.
guest.
I guess I
today.
can start.
He's a guest
I guess
today,
I
so
can
I feel
start.
like, hey, why not? You're the guest. What do you want to talk about first? And what do you want to talk
Alright,
about?
the first one I want to bring up, I don't have a case for. I have cases for most of the games I'm gonna bring up, but first one I want to talk about is a game called Rocket Robot on Wheels
Oh my
for the
God.
N64.
Gosh, yeah.
This game is actually really cool. It's a 3D platformer. I'm not sure who made it. I don't remember.
Sucker Punch.
But oh yeah, you're right, Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Really cool game. Really cool world. The controls are really fluid, really snappy. It's just really good 3D platformer that no one knows about like at all.
I've never played it, but I heard of it just because.
Same.
Hey, that's the game them Sly people made before Sly. So yeah, that's just where I know it
Sly
from.
people.
I haven't finished it myself. I played like 5 or 6 hours last year, and
Mhm.
I enjoyed my time with it. So definitely go check it out.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's I don't know. You know how I feel about the N64, but that actually does look like a good N64 game. So
It is.
I very much like it. Cool. That wasn't much of a talk on it. I thought we were going to talk more about it, but you know.
So I don't know. I mean, it's a 3D platformer, just like a lot of the other platformers of that era, like Banjo and Mario 64. You collect a bunch of stuff, a lot of MacGuffins, and go through different worlds.
Collectathon.
Yeah, it's
Essentially.
nothing really too special.
Yeah.
There's like different vehicles you get and stuff that you can ride in. It's hard to remember too much because it has been a bit since I played it, but it's a cool game for sure.
Yeah, sounds fun. Hunter, I'm gonna come to you next.
Oh boy, let's
Yeah.
fish out the list here.
I'm gonna let you go next. I need to keep track of timestamps and everything. This is complicated. I'm gonna have to get used to this. But yeah. So Hunter, go on.
Alrighty.
Go for a game quickly, and we'll see how long you can talk about
I'm
this.
gonna go with Dark Cloud.
Oh,
First one here.
Go for it.
This game,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like it a lot. I wish more people played it. Basically, it's a early PS2 era, like right around the launch window, I think. I don't remember specifically. It's hard to remember. I was barely alive. It was like a dungeon crawly RPG kind of game where you'd be going into the dungeon and you'd be foraging for these pieces to reassemble a town that got destroyed.
Nice.
And yeah, I really liked the mechanics as far as like the weapon upgrading and all of that. There were things that could be a little frustrating, such as if your weapon breaks, it's gone forever, and that's a little upsetting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Breath of the Wild.
overall,
syndrome.
I thought yeah, except worse.
Worse? How could it be worse? I don't know how.
Well,
it
Breath
could
of the
possibly be
Wild,
worse.
it doesn't matter because you can kill things and just pick up your 12th soldier's
Yeah, you get
broadsword
weapons
when you
everywhere in that
have
Yeah.
game.
True.
Yeah, in Dark Cloud, when you have the Chronicle sword and that breaks, that's a little upsetting because you put hours into making it.
So it's not like the Master Sword where it just recharges; it's just gone forever.
No, it just gone forever. The second game fixed that, where it would just kind of make your weapons do nothing when they broke instead of making them disappear. But yeah,
Fair enough.
it also had a really cool kind of story to it towards the end, and I thought the soundtrack was really good.
Good soundtrack. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's a game I need to finish. I have it. I haven't finished it.
Shocker, dude.
Oh,
Shall we keep a tally of how many of these games I've like, oh, I own this, but I haven't finished it.
How far do you get?
Well, we're 2 for 2
Not
right
too
now.
far. I think like my game crashed or something. I lost my whole save, and so I just stopped playing.
That sucks.
Oh yeah.
I think I had a bad disc.
Well, that'll happen. Sometimes I'd go like stretches without saving it, and then my weapon would break or something. I'd be like, oh, well, I guess I'm just not playing this for a week because I'm sad.
Very cool. So yeah, Dark Cloud. Very nice. Kyle,
Alrighty.
you're a man of culture. You have plenty of video games that no one's played that you've known. So go ahead. Give us one.
Ethan, you should have held off on your words before you said anything.
Why? Is it going to be one that's like super fucking...
Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia for the 3DS.
Oh god, I wasn't expecting that, so now my timestamps are all messed up. Fire Emblem Shadow 1. There we
You
go.
can just call it Echoes.
1. Okay, cool.
Anyways, this is the third Fire Emblem game that got released on 3DS.
Yeah.
This is a remake of an older Fire Emblem game.
Mm-hmm.
Very old, very dated. Don't remember what it was on. I didn't play Fire Emblem until Awakening came out.
Yeah.
Basically, so this game, it follows two stories that happen in tandem with each other. It follows the stories of and Celica. And basically, in the prologue, something happens that they're childhood friends, but something happens that basically makes them forced to be separated from each other. So then, from the main story onward, you are playing their stories in tandem and trying to reconnect, basically.
Cool.
Your paths intertwine at certain points, and yeah, I haven't finished this game personally. I really did enjoy my time with it. I love the characters. The characters are really like the big driving point of the game.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do want to come back to it. I just ran out. I just like when I was back when it came out, I just kind of lost time because of work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also, final thing I want to mention on the game is that the voice cast in this game is phenomenal.
Cool.
So we're gonna play a game.
Erica Lindbergh
We're gonna
is
play
so
a game,
amazing, dude.
Hunter. It's called Recognize the Voice Actor. I'm gonna list some of the voice actors I recognized, and y'all count along with how many you know.
Okay,
Starting
cool.
off, Erica Lindbeck.
Yeah,
Kyle McCarley.
that's retarded.
He was
Sam.
in
That's
At-
retarded.
Yeah, I don't know voice actors.
It's also Jesse from Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've got you, dude. I've got you.
This is mostly for Ethan and Hunter. But yeah, then you
I'm
had
gonna
Kyle
educate
McCarley.
you.
Who,
I don't know this one.
They also had Kyle McCarley, who did Hal in Astral Chain.
I thought
He
you were
was
gonna say
also
Pokemon.
in Nier Automata.
Nice. Max Middleman,
Hey,
Robbie Damond,
Ryuji and
Alexis
Akechi.
Tipton,
I don't know her.
Jeremy Lay, who was the voice for Makoto
Really?
in Persona.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to always bring up fun fact that she's the voice of the female protagonist in Cyberpunk, which is a big deal.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
nice. That's coming
Good
out
for
soon,
her, dude. Good for
eventually,
her.
probably.
Maybe. Who knows? November.
Then you also have Caitlin Glass, who was the voice for Elma in Xenoblade X. Chris Hackney, who did the voice for Dimitri in Three Houses. Christina V, who needs no introduction. She's been in like everything. You have Kyle Hebert,
That's why you're making these up. now.
who was the narrator in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
You have Brianna Knickerbocker, who was
That's not real. That's not real.
That's real, dude. She was the voice for the female MC in Astral Chain. And then you have Jameson Price, voice of Sojiro, Persona 5.
You bad.
Boy.
Ooh, boy.
So yeah, Fire
great.
Emblem Shadows of Valentia, very good game if you like turn-based RPGs, turn-based strategy RPGs.
Because
You like story.
that always seems like, to me, that
You
seems
got
like
everything here.
the Fire Emblem game on 3DS. That's the one that is kind of the one that kind of went under the radar for everyone. I feel
It
like
was
everyone knows
the last-
Awakening and Fates, but no one ever
Yeah.
really brings that one up ever.
This was the last one to get released, and it was kind of near the end of the 3DS's life cycle, so
Oh,
it just kind of got sent under the radar.
Sent to Die. It was one of the final marches.
And honestly, I was thinking about skipping this game because I loved Awakening, but Fates just burned me out.
Mm.
Me too.
But I am glad I picked it up. I like this game, and I do want to finish it at some point. Alrighty,
Nice.
I might
throw
pick
that
it
on
up
the
sometime.
ground.
Is it my go? Is it my go?
I believe
Oh,
it's your
baby.
go.
I'm gonna
sir.
I'm gonna put the timestamp down and I'm gonna get the game out so I just know. I'm gonna go with this one. Let's go with this one from the shelf. I'll do the show
My
and
God.
tell thing.
You
Is
just randomly.
nah,
pick
dude.
some.
It's Yooka Laylee and the Impossible Lair.
Yeah,
I do own a physical
Persona
copy.
5.
You've ruined my joke for later. God damn it. Yeah, Yooka Laylee and the Impossible Lair by Platonic Games and Team 17. That game is basically like, for a game like Yooka Laylee 1, which was pretty mediocre if you ask me. Like, as someone that backed that game, I was very disappointed by it. Not because it was necessarily bad, but just because it was just nothing special. Like, it was very generic and nothing interesting about it. That game is like so much better, and I feel like the mediocrity of the first game really tarnished that one when it's actually a really good 2D platformer. It has one of the best soundtracks that I've heard from a 2D platformer in a long time, and it's not just Grant Kirkhope and David Wise who do an amazing job as always, like they always do, but the team at Platonic also made some of the songs, and some of the songs that they made are the best tracks in the game, which is shocking to me. There's the underwater music in that game is something special, and I was like, oh, this is just David Wise, right? David Wise wrote this, and it wasn't. It was the just random guy at Platonic, which I don't remember the name of you, so I'm sorry, but did a really good job at the soundtrack. Like, it's really good. But no, I was really surprised with how good Yooka Laylee and Impossible Lair is. Like, it's really good, and no one kind of passed it under. In my opinion, it's better than Tropical Freeze. In my opinion. Because Tropical Freeze always has this problem, and I always talk about it when I'm talking about 2D platformers, of trial and error platforming isn't fun. It's not good level design. People always praise Tropical Freeze for having good level design, and I'm like, visually, it's great. It's a really good looking game. But my god, the trial and error platforming is garbage. The amount of times you just die in that game because it's like, oh, you couldn't see the platform off screen, but now you know, right? It's like, no, that's not fun. That isn't difficulty. That's just, you're bullshitting me out of a life here for the sake of challenging me, and it's just not interesting. To the point where I say
It's
that
like an NES platformer trap.
Exactly. I think Funky
So
Mode's the
something you see
better
out of
mode in that
Cronos.
game. Funky Mode is the better mode in that game, not because it's easier, but just because Funky controls better, and there's a bit, it kind of alleviates most of the trial and error platforming because he has a hover and stuff like that. You can kind of manipulate it, so it's easier to.
You can stand on spikes.
But no, Yooka Laylee, and also it has Impossible Lair has basically the levels are all 2D platformers, but the overworld that they did, they decided instead of just doing like a generic overworld, they decided let's make like a mini 2D Zelda overworld map, which is full of puzzles and challenges for you to do. And it's basically like a mixture of the 2D NES, SNES platformers and a 2D Zelda game. And it's done really well. And I really loved what they did with it. And it's like, low-key, it was one of my favorite games of last year, and it just kind of slipped under everyone's radar. So if you ever see it on, and it goes on sale all the time, so if you ever see Yooka Laylee Impossible Lair on sale, go and play it, because it genuinely is something that should be played. Unlike the original. Skip the original. But Impossible Lair is really well done, and there's no reason for this many people to have not played it, especially if you're a fan of Nintendo 2D platformers, and with this Nintendo drought, that's probably a good game to be playing right now.
It's another one I need to finish.
Yeah. I finished
3.
it. I finished it. It's really good. I like it. And the Impossible Lair is a really fun gimmick as well. Like, basically you get one massive gauntlet at the end of the game, where it's like a massive level that's like 10 minutes and 4 bosses. And you just like, you can attempt it from, you can attempt it from the start of the game with like 2 hits and you're dead. And you can beat the game right there and then. But then completing levels unlocks bees, which are essentially an extra hit. So you can take up to an extra 50 hits into the Impossible Lair at the end. Yeah. And it's still balls hard with 50 hits. So it's like, but it's really good. And if you're a fan of 2D platforms, I definitely recommend it. So there you go. That's my first one. Back to you, Sam.
Back to me. All right. What are we going to go with? I was thinking about going with this gem of a game.
Oh, the Croc.
Croc,
Yeah.
Legend of the Gobbos.
Yeah.
One of my favorite PS1 games. Another really good 3D platformer, but it kind of went under the radar since everyone was playing Mario 64 and Crash Bandicoot at the time. Croc is a bit of a weird one because it controls like a tank, so a lot of people are turned off by that.
Like, it really does. Man. Like,
It really does.
No,
But
tank controls.
the gameplay is just so good. Croc controls, besides being a tank, he controls really well. The atmosphere and the level design is great.
Yeah.
It's a really fun game. Some nice quirky bosses and enemies, designs and stuff. Tons of levels, and there's a bunch of like secret levels you can unlock and stuff. It's a really cool game.
Yeah. It's one of those games that I've heard of, but I just never played. Like, I don't know. I think can you see there's like a moth in my room? This is great. I love the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till I get one of those flying
Yeah, this is...
around
Oh,
here.
I'm getting attacked on the webcam. But no, it's a game that I really like. Like I've seen people play it, and I love the fact that he flies. Is like this is the speed tech where he just flies. Literally,
Well, he's not
supposed to
do
fly.
that.
But my God, he tries. Did he try? Is he flying? And it's, I don't know.
It makes the game a lot more fun, obviously.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
It's one of those early 3D platformers, which is like, has it aged incredibly well? I don't know about that, but it's charming for what it is, and I feel like people don't give it enough credit.
And
Yeah,
just
I
like
remember...
Crash 2, you go faster at a diagonal angle on D-pad.
Oh my God.
Give me nightmares now. Now I'm gonna have nightmares.
Yeah, I do remember you playing that game on stream a few years back, and it always looked super interesting. It's one of those that I've been meaning to want to try out.
Yeah,
for sure.
The speed tech made it look really fun, the hovering, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get into speedrunning it. I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
Fun game. I don't remember who was next on the list. Is it Hunter that's on next on the list?
I think it was Hunter.
I believe.
Go
I
on,
am
Hunter,
next,
then, and
yes.
lie to me.
Alrighty, I think the next thing I'm gonna go with is The Lone Survivor.
Oh, hey, did you know that we have a Let's Play of this on our YouTube channel?
Yep.
Wow.
I did it myself.
Yeah.
Go check it out
if you're
this makes you
interested.
curious.
Yeah.
Basically, The Lone Survivor is this cool indie horror game that takes influences from such greats like Silent Hill, except it makes it like 2D and retro. And they do a really good job at just curating a good atmosphere with the sound design. The sound design is impeccable. And then, the sense of dread, like the monsters and the designs there are very minimalist but effective in my opinion. Like they're just like little flesh men, but the noise they make is enough to make you want to run.
Yeah.
As far as like the mechanics with keeping your psychological level in the realm of sanity, it doesn't like affect you in the same way that, you know, Eternal Darkness or Amnesia would, where it just makes the game harder. But keeping your character sane to get a good ending is part of the challenge, and it's worth it because the endings are better. The good endings are better.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing you're looking for in a horror game is the atmosphere, really. Like,
yeah, basically, yeah, and it's definitely better than the you know, clickbait jump scare.
the one thing I hate, the
Slendermans
reason
and
I hate the
Five
horror
Nights at
genre in
Freddy's.
general is because of just half-assed jump scares that don't really play for it, right?
See, like 2 months before Five Nights at Freddy's hit the internet and took it by storm was when I played this game. So when my friend was like, "Oh, look at how good this game is," showing me Five Nights at Freddy's, I was like, "Nah, man, I'm not impressed."
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
One trick
hey,
pony.
at least Five Nights at Freddy's released. You know, like there's so many of these like stereotypical like indie games that have been made by devs that are just dropped on the spot. You know, like
I would say at least, but then it released like 7 times.
hey,
It didn't change.
hey, dude, he released 7 games in the time
It
it
wasn't
took
good.
that guy that makes like that
But dude,
Yandere
there's
sim
so
to release
much
one, dude.
lore.
You know what I mean? Like at least he released his games.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You know, but no, it's. I remember I remember checking over that stuff because obviously when we did the Let's Play last year, back when we did Let's Plays, wow, those were the days, guys. Those are the days. But no, the days like exactly like everyone spent about 2 days each doing a Let's Play, and then we all stopped. It was great.
Yeah.
Hunter was the only one that pulled through.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was just very interesting watching the bits and pieces as I was uploading them and editing them and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, this looks like a really interesting atmosphere to explore in. And you know, I'm a massive like wuss when it comes to horror, so you're not catching me playing it. But Last of Us is the furthest I go into that realm, and so I'm like, yeah, looks cool.
All 45
I respect
minutes
it.
of the 1 level and 2.
There's a good hour, 45 minutes that's an actual horror game, The Last of Us 2, but that was the closest I could get to it. But no, it did look like a very good game, so you should definitely check it out. Or if you're at least interested, check out the Let's Play, because it's still sitting there. We haven't privated any of it, so go ahead.
I did my best.
He did his best, and that's all we can ask. Please subscribe. Please. We'd really appreciate it. I love these visual gags that I can now do, and then the audio listeners are like, why are they laughing? Why are they laughing? It's great because the majority of our audience is audio anyway, so it's even better. All these inside jokes we can do. Hell yeah. Kyle, give me a game.
I will give you a game.
Oh boy.
Introducing
Mm-hmm.
Need for Speed Carbon.
Wait, what?
Tomba.
For those listening, not on YouTube, my box says Tomba 2, but there's a sticker that says Need for Speed Carbon on it.
Oh, that's a train wreck.
It's actually Tomba 2.
That's I was so scared because I'd written Tomba 2 down on like the annotation, and I thought for a minute that you were going to talk about Need for Speed, and I'm like, no, don't make me rewrite the title.
Dude,
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
This was a gag I just thought of like a minute ago while Hunter was talking.
Oh, that's,
I'm like,
happy
there's
to
a
help.
joke here.
That's going in.
Meanwhile, Sam's about to
Meanwhile, Sam,
take
I
his whole
thought you were
fucking
talking
PS1
about this,
collection.
dude.
Oh my god!
I thought you were talking.
Why do you have that?
It's a good
Do you
game.
need to
I grew
finish
up
that
with
one too?
Carbon.
for audio
I didn't even
listeners,
put it
Sam
on my
just
list.
brought out a copy of Need for Speed Carbon. Oh,
Oh my god!
you'd think we would have planned
thought
it.
you were going to talk about Need for Speed Carbon, and I was like, oh no, I can't let you soil my boy Need for Speed Carbon.
No, we should have.
Quick backstory on the box, I should say. This was a high school graduation gift from my sister, and this is just the box it came in. Sans the Tomba 2, I wrote this on a piece of printer paper.
Oh, that's great.
That was for me.
That genuinely is
That's
great.
amazing.
I love it.
But we're here to talk about Tomba 2. This Tomba 2 is a PS1 2.5D platformer game. It's kind of like a Metroidvania in a way, where there's a lot of places where you can't advance until you can't go to a certain place until you get a certain item from another place in the future. And honestly, I don't know if this is actually a good game. It's a lot of like fetch quests, basically.
Yeah.
A lot of fetch quests and just go from point A to point B, find what person A wants, and then go back to 10 towns away to get the thing they need. But I don't know. This is a game I played in my childhood. It's one of the earliest games I ever played.
Really?
This, along with like Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on the Game Boy.
Ooh.
And Pong on the Game Boy was like one of the first,
hype.
some of the first
Pong,
few games
That's
I
pretty
have
common.
memories of playing. And I don't know. It's just a game that's always stuck out to me in my mind.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, I lost my original copy, hence Need for Speed Carbon.
Big rip, dude. Big rip.
But
Dread.
yeah, games a lot of fun. There's a lot of parts to it that have really stuck with me through my years of growing up. It was one of the first times in a video game I remember being scared of things. There's this one part that just there's this one part called the Laughing Crying Forest where basically Tomba, there's just like these fruits scattered around and they just halt your progress. The music's fucking terrifying as hell. It's just really it was just all really unsettling.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game, it's super underrated. The developers, Whoopee Camp, they only made this and the first game, and then nothing else after it.
That's a shame.
But yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
If you want to try it out, it's pretty cheap on PS1 classics, on PS3, PSP, and PS Vita. So
Oh yeah,
there you go.
a lot of those go for like $5.
yeah. So if 2.5D Metroidvania sounds interesting to you, do check it out.
Yeah.
Also, while I was looking for voice actors for Echoes, I decided to just look at
Oh, here we go.
Tomba's voice actors. It was like 3 people doing all the voices for the game.
Of course it was.
Was it all done
It's
in house?
so good.
It's like,
it was just
yeah.
the devs.
Probably.
You know, it's
I
like
have no
it's like
clue.
Spyro.
Regardless, the voice actors never did anything else after
It's like
this.
Spyro 1.
They just
dude.
had like their 10
Yeah.
roles.
It's like Spyro 1 where there's 80 dragons and at least 30 of them are voiced by Clancy Brown. It's just one of those things. You know? Just one of those.
That's
I like
awesome.
money.
Yeah. Hey, man,
Anyways,
you got
that's
it.
Tomba.
Yeah.
Ethan,
Oh, is it my turn?
what do you have? What do you have on the table?
Well, let me tell you what I have. But first, I just want to say something. You know, you said that Tomba was the first game that you got scared at. I just want to say mine was
Yes.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone for the PS1. There's a point where you like get thrown in a well or something. Like you go underground, like into the sewers, right? That fucked me up as a child, dude. That genuinely did. Like, yeah.
So, why do you have all of these?
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
classic, dude. That honestly can rival some
That's
of
the
the
PAL
ugliest.
version too.
Oh my
Some
god.
of the ugliest player models in a video game goes to the Harry Potter
Mhm.
PS1 games. My god, is it an absolute disgusting tragedy. But I have like massive nostalgia for those. Anyway, moving on to my next game. Let me get it off the shelf. Have you guys heard of this little game called No, but it is
Oh, yeah.
related to it. It's the Persona Rhythm games. I've got the collection here, which is 3 and 5 together, in this really nice, not arbitrary, not absolute garbage bookcase hybrid thing that I absolutely despise. But no, it's all 3 of them. I'm putting them as like I just put Persona Dancing on the timestamp, right? Because they're effectively the same game for each one. But the reason I'm putting them down is because most of the time with these spin-offs, like Cough Cough Kingdom Hearts, right? A lot of the spin-offs are just like really shitty versions of the original game, or they're just the only one really is Chain of Memories, which does something that's a bit special in a good way. But like the rest of them are either most of the time when you get a JRPG like spin-off, it's usually either a really watered down shitty version of the main games, Cough Cough Birth by Sleep, Cough Cough Dream Drop Distance. But with the Persona Rhythm games, they're really well done. Like it's a really good rhythm game. And I'm surprised no one's really tried to rip off this style because it's just the regular controller. It's not like some shitty peripheral like guitar that you're playing. It just is the face buttons and the D-pad. And it's just something about it that it just really works. Once you get the hang of it, it just really works. It's really well done. People loved P4 dancing. I want to give a shout out to P5 and P3 in particular of those games, because it seems that there's like this elitist mindset in the Persona dancing community that Persona 4 dancing is like the holy grail, dude. It's the holy grail, and the P5 and the P3 games are utter shit because the remixes are garbage. Fuck off. They're not. They're both really good. P3's remix is really good, and Sam's played P5. I really like the remixes that they did in that game. And people that think that they're bad, I just think have a bias. But here we are, persona bias. That doesn't exist, dude. There's no such thing as persona bias. It doesn't exist.
I don't know what
Franchise
you
started
mean.
at 3.
Yeah, dude. There's no such thing as persona bias. You know. But no, I think the rhythm games, if you're into rhythm games especially, but if you're into Persona, I'd really recommend them because one, they have really great soundtracks, just like the rest of the Persona series. But the gameplay is really good, where if you give it the time to click, it just does. And it's like, to me, it's my background game, where if I'm talking in a party or if I'm talking to friends and I don't want to play a game, I'll just stick it in the background and just kind of play it in the background without thinking. It's just my subconscious game. It just gives me something to do. And it's really fun, and I'd really recommend it. And they're all available on PS4 and Vita. So if you're like one of the 3 people that own the Vita and want to play a rhythm game on the go, they're like perfect for that. So I definitely recommend it. So there you go. Persona Dancing. If you're into rhythm games, go check them out because I feel like they're underrated because everyone just hears the term Persona Dancing and just kind of laughs it off. They're like, what a stupid spin-off, but hey, they're really well done. So yeah, go check them out.
Join us back later when Ethan talks about Kingdom Hearts rhythm game.
Oh, I can't wait. That's coming up later this year.
Boy.
I will 100% be buying that on day 1, dude. If it's a next gen launch, dude, it's that and Bug Snacks. Fuck Miles Morales.
Oh
Get it out. Get it out. We're playing Kingdom Hearts rhythm game and Bug Snacks on launch, dude. And that's a promise. That's an Ethan promise right there.
That's a promise.
That's an Ethan promise.
Twitch.tv/chaotic ether.
Yeah, dude. Take that one to the bank, dude. Please don't. Thank you. Sam, let's go back to you. I've talked enough about Persona Dancing. What game's next on your list?
All right, listen.
That's never a good
We
start.
got this game called Need for Speed.
What really is your next game?
I mean, Need for Speed Carbon is good. I wouldn't say it's underrated.
I'm
not
putting
going to
Need
talk
for Speed
about
Carbon on that. Dude. I'm not putting Need for Speed Carbon.
Yeah, dude, there's cars. They go fast.
Vroom vroom.
Cargo vroom.
Car
Let's
goes
go
burr.
ahead. Car goes burr.
Do you like my car?
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Dude? Is that what we're bringing in? Bring it in.
No.
Bring it.
I'm gonna talk, I guess, about Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Oh, I'm surprised I didn't predict that you were gonna prick Gauntlet. Yeah, go for
This game, it's more of a nostalgia pick, to be honest. I don't know how many people would consider this a really good game, but it's, if you've played Gauntlet before, you know what to expect here. It's like super dungeon crawlery, just like hack and slash, beat the shit out of everything kind of game, and it's really good couch co-op. I've spent years playing this game with my friend Andrew, and we just run through dungeons all night and just like level grind for hours, and it's like the funnest thing ever.
Yeah. One of my favorite
yeah.
videos on your old channel is you playing Gauntlet with Andrew because it's the you should really go check that. Go search into the depths for that video because my god, it's so fucking.
Ethan, just
dumb.
put a link in the description.
I'm not searching for it. I'm not searching for it. If after we finish the podcast, if someone passes me the link, I'll put it in the description. So you can go check it out. Well, that's a really good video. It's really funny because it's perfect, like 2011 content right there. Like it's
really good.
It's really
I'm
good.
sad we never finished that playthrough on YouTube because it was a really good time.
Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, really simple game. Literally just running through levels, hack and slash and stuff. There's a bunch of really strong bosses, and you just grind away, and pretty simple. That's good. It's got its fair share of glitches too. You can like go through some walls and stuff, and it's a little faster for speedrunning. I actually tried speedrunning this game at one point.
You did.
It
was tragic.
It's long.
It's long.
I think I finished a run in like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
It was
not
bad.
for the faint of heart.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So there you go. Gauntlet.legacy.
That's Gauntlet.
Hunter.
Hello.
Go on. Give us a game, dude. Give us a game.
Alrighty.
I've got to
Now
find
is
my
a
other
good
games.
time.
So you say this, and then if I'm rummaging around, you know what I'm doing.
I think now is as good a time as any for me to talk about Dino Crisis.
Woo! Ah, good. I know nothing about this, so I can zone out and
I
look
don't
for
know.
games. Bye.
You've just heard me mention it a few times.
I'm
Anyway,
just gonna fall asleep.
they made 2 of these that were of
I'm also
quality.
gonna look for another game. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Hunter, you tell the viewers we're not listening.
Let me just sit
I'll
here and
listen,
talk
Hunter.
to myself.
I
for a
got
minute.
you.
They made 2 of these that were of quality. The first one was basically Resident Evil with dinosaurs, and you know what? That's not a bad idea, because dinosaurs are scarier than zombies in most cases. Zombies are all slow and decrepit, and dinosaurs go roar and move at you real
They
quick.
go burr.
That's way scary.
Dinosaurs go burr.
Anyway, so they kind of moved away from the. They kind of moved away from the survival horror aspect of it in the sequel and made it more like an arcadey shooter. But it was in a way that worked because also dinosaurs lend themselves to action way more than zombies do, as Resident Evil proved way later in the series.
Yeah.
So Dino Crisis 2 was really good. It had a lot of action fun. It encouraged a lot of replay value because you could like unlock extras. There was like an extra mode at the end where you could unlock playing as dinosaurs in this Coliseum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was a novel thing. I'm pretty sure it doesn't control very well anymore, but you know, it was fun at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah. Also, Dino Crisis 2 was set up on a cliffhanger that never got resolved because Dino Crisis 3 was about dinosaurs in space.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Nice.
amused.
Can't go wrong with that.
And
Well,
that
apparently
basically
they did.
Aw.
Apparently.
and that basically killed the series.
Oh no.
I've been sitting on that cliffhanger for 20 years.
I'm not bitter.
Not at all.
I'm sure you'll live, dude. I'm sure you'll live.
Yeah,
But no.
you know.
Fun game, dude. Fun game.
So yeah, Dino Crisis 1 and 2.
It's one of those games. It's one of those games that everyone's always like, "Oh, I really hope they bring it back." And I feel like every time someone predicts it, it's like me predicting. We'll talk about Smash next week, but it's like me predicting a Xenoblade character for Smash. It's just like every time you wish for
Yep.
it, it's the exact opposite will happen, dude. Like not like
They
Someone
just
laughs at
renew
you.
They just renew the copyright to do nothing with it. It makes me sad.
that's the strat, dude. That's the strat.
Like Horizon reinvigorated interest in like robo dinosaurs. Honestly, Dino Crisis 3, if it had came out, you know, several years later, people would have been way more down for dinosaurs in space.
Probably. But you know,
But it came off too soon
there you go.
and killed the series.
There you go. Very cool. But no, it's one of those games I've always heard. I hear the name Dino Crisis, but I just haven't played it. So I'm always like, yeah, Dino Crisis, that'd be cool.
Half the people who hear about it mistake it for Time Crisis, the rail
Yeah,
shooter.
exactly, dude. Exactly. Is that the spin-off with dinosaurs, dude? Is that the spin-off? It is, isn't it? You're not saying anything, so I'm right.
No, it's not.
I'll take your no as a yes and move on. But yeah, Dino Crisis, check it out, people. Kyle,
Yo,
it's
did
time.
someone say rail shooters?
No, but go on.
Because I'm about to introduce y'all to the best shooter game that you never played.
Go.
Oh, baby.
Sin and Punishment Star Successor for the Nintendo
Oh,
Wii.
for God's sake. How am I
heard of
supposed
that
to...
one.
Now I've got to write this down. Sin and
Just
punishment.
put Sin and Punishment.
K9.
There you go.
Cool. Go on, tell us about Sin
So-
and Punishment.
This is a follow-up to the N64 game, it's the original Sin and Punishment, and it takes place, I don't know how many years, I never played the original. It was on the N64 and it was a shooter. It was probably bad, but this is a shooter game on the Wii, which is really good because point and shoot, awesome,
Mhm.
fucking fantastic, best use of Wii controls.
Mhm.
Yeah, it takes place X amount of years after the first game, following this guy. This is Issa, the son of the protagonist from the first game.
Mhm.
And basically it's just an on-rails bullet hell shooter. It's just a ton of freaking fun, honestly. The game's short, only like 9 or 10 stages, but all the stages play radically different from each other, so it never feels like it gets stale. Also, this game's hard as balls. If you can't keep track of multiple things, like it's really difficult to get into. But if you can at least give it a try, like this game used to have a ton of replay value, because you might notice it's got this little Nintendo Wi-Fi sticker at
What's
the
that?
bottom.
What's that?
This game used to have a leaderboard, and unlike
Whoa.
literally every other online leaderboard, it wasn't hacked. So that encouraged replay value. Yeah,
That's
because
impressive.
no one fucking played it.
Timmy and Jimmy didn't want to hack
So-
it, and all that was left was Kyle.
So, obviously the leaderboard's offline now. Nintendo Wi-Fi shut down back in like 2015. But point being, back when this game was like leaderboards were there, it encouraged replay value, and even like you can still play it for yourself, like get better scores. Why the heck not? Game encourages you not getting hit, multiplies your score like that.
Yeah, get good.
Get good,
Honestly.
Get good.
Honestly, I can't tell you how many times I replayed the first stage just to improve my score and move up the leaderboard. It was just it was just a super addictive game to play, and honestly, I would really love to see another Sin and Punishment game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all. This game is on Wii U eShop, $20, so check it out if you want.
There you go.
Big recommend.
Big recommend. Nice.
Even back when like Wii games were still being sold, like it ran super cheap at retailers too.
Nice.
Not like that helps you now, but back then it
I
did.
know.
It's probably
Fun
also
fact.
dirt cheap on Amazon, so
Get it where you can. Right.
get it.
Yeah, my next
do.
one is...
Ethan, go.
My next one is
Ethan.
Kim Poss. No, it's not. I just found it. There's a massive backstory behind this where I saw this game existed and I was like, I'm going to make a video on this, and it's been sitting in this drawer for 3 years and I still haven't even played it. So there you go.
Yo, new videos every
New
week.
videos every week. New videos every week.
New videos every week.
New videos every week. May I take your hat?
YouTube.com/whatajames.
May I take your hats?
May I take your hat? No. An actual platform. Oh crap, I'm dropping all the other games.
Oh crap.
Oh no.
Ratchet and Clank gets a
I like
lot
this
of
webcam.
love usually, but I feel like the one game that to me is my focus. Thank you.
Focus, Ethan.
The one game in the franchise to me, which is the best game in the franchise that I feel like everyone kind of missed, is Crack in Time. Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time got massive critical praise. I freaking loved it, but yeah, it's one of the it just kind of just dropped off. Like people had kind of dropped off of Ratchet and Clank, and I feel like a load of people, if you've missed a Ratchet and Clank game, high chances it's either Tools of Destruction or this one. And I feel like this one's just a really, really good game, and it's such a shame that they never did a PS4 port of it, because it looks great. And honestly, like this, it's the only game that the Ratchet and Clank have done where Ratchet and Clank are completely separated for the entirety of the game, yet Ratchet still controls well, and they give him like hover boots and stuff, like all these other gadgets that are really cool to work around. So Ratchet's moveset's completely different, and Clank actually has a role in the story and is actually engaging as a character. And it's just this was supposed to be the last Ratchet and Clank game, and obviously it's not. But
Far
far
from it.
from it. But my God, I freaking loved this game when it came out, and I feel like everyone just kind of forgets about it. Like this is the one Ratchet game that I feel like everyone forgets that was really good. People always talk about how great the original trilogy is, or people really like the remake that they did. But nah, to me, this has always been this is the gold standard of a Ratchet and Clank game right here. And so yeah, if you haven't played Crack in Time on PS3, I'd highly recommend it because it's really well done. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. It's great. You should play it. I've got another platformer on the PS3 that also was underrated, which we'll talk to you about in a bit. But yeah.
I wonder what that could be.
I wonder. Who knows? I don't.
I don't.
But yeah,
I don't either.
play Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. It's pretty great.
What's the PS3?
Go play it.
I don't know. I've never had one.
It's a shame. There's a load of good games on it. It's just no one picked
I
up
have
yet.
a PS3.
It's a shame they never port them.
Yeah, it is.
That's kind of what I was hoping for.
But it didn't
And they
happen because
don't.
Sony hates fun, dude. Unless it's The Last of Us or Uncharted, it's staying on that system. And
And
that's all you can say.
Yep.
That's all I can say. Sam, back to you. What's next on your list?
Back to me. I'm gonna go once again do another nostalgia pick, and anher game that I used to play with Andrew a lot,
Mhm.
Hell
Go
yeah.
for
and another game I did a YouTube series on.
No.
Oh my god.
This isn't good.
Oh,
We're-
Crash Insanity?
We're gonna talk about the
Simpsons?
Simpsons
Oh,
game
man.
for the
No.
PS2.
Nice one, Hunter.
Good job,
You
Hunter.
got
Good
it.
prediction, dude. Good
My OG
Yeah. Look at you go.
fanboy.
Thought that was Ethan.
Not true.
Yeah.
Hunter was earlier, I think.
Oh shit.
Hunter
Yeah.
was around it.
Yeah, I knew him. I knew
I've
him
been lied
first.
to for 5 years.
Hunter's been around for ages, man.
Hunter's been around.
Yeah.
But anyway, Simpsons game. It's a really cool beat 'em up, 3D beat 'em up. Co-op, couch co-op. There's just like a bunch of really cool levels with like different themes and stuff. It's The Simpsons. If you've seen The Simpsons, you kind of understand what the humor is going to be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of collectibles, and it's just a lot of beating the shit out of stuff. It's a cool game.
I always feel like it gets overlooked because of Hit and Run.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Because everyone knows
For
Hit and
sure.
Run, everyone loves Hit and Run. Rightfully so, it's a great game. But I feel like everyone just kind of only focus on hit and run and don't realize that there's another Simpsons game on PS2, and it was also pretty good.
Yeah. All the characters have their own like special abilities and stuff. They even have their own like unique costumes for each level based on like the environment they're in. So like there's like a Lord of the Rings level that Homer, you get to play as him in, and he's dressed like, it almost looks like a Link. But they tried to make him look like an elf or something. It's pretty silly. But yeah, it's a really cool game. Check it out.
Nice. Hunter, it is your go.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to talk about another, actually, PS3 platformers. I got one of those.
Go for it.
Oh, shit.
Anyone ever hear of this game called Puppeteer?
No.
No.
No? Didn't think so.
Absolutely.
Basically, it's a 2D platformer that is set up. Its aesthetic is like a puppet show, as one may guess from the name Puppeteer.
Really?
It's real cool because, yeah, basically you travel through all sorts of different themed environments. There's a like pirate level, there's a space level. It's real cool. Essentially, the gimmick is, aside from the different stages and all that, is your health bar is like these different heads because your character got turned into a puppet and he lost his head.
Yeah.
So you got to like salvage other heads from different places. They affect the environment in different ways, and you can store up to 3, and they work not only as like little extra things that give you different effects depending on which one you're wearing, but also a, you know, life system. You get 3. Once you run out, you're dead.
Nice.
Etc. It's a very clever game. It's very tongue-in-cheek with its presentation. All of the characters are very sarcastic and wink wink nudge nudgy.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So it doesn't take itself too seriously. It was very charming. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Puppeteer. I've genuinely never heard of it. So that truly is a hidden one, dude.
Yeah, it was free on Plus. I think the same month that I got Lone Survivor was why I got it.
Nice. So there you go. Puppeteer.
Yeah.
Go on then, Kyle.
Alrighty. Who here's heard of Chrono Trigger?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh. All
Well,
right.
let me introduce you to its forgotten brother,
Oh.
Chrono Cross.
I
for the
played this
PlayStation
game when I was
1.
younger.
I'm a normie.
That's another game I
Alrighty.
haven't finished.
Add it to the
I
list.
know.
Add it to the list.
So Chrono Cross is a game that takes place, I believe, 20 years after the events of Trigger, and it follows like none of the original cast, which is very interesting for a sequel to do. But honestly, I really enjoy that kind of a take on it. It gives you a chance to be introduced to a whole new world, or kind of get reintroduced to the world that Chrono Trigger had set up previously, while still like getting to know this new cast that they're introducing, which, by the way, big fucking cast.
Oh yeah, it had like
There's like 40 or
70
50
people or
odd
something.
playable characters
It's
in this
crazy.
game. Most of them are garbage and not useful to the story at all. But boy, if you like your options, there's
They just
like
hand
a
them out like
dancing
candy.
scarecrow you can use. There's a turnip. I'm not
Of
kidding.
course, I'm not
No,
surprised.
I
I'm not
vaguely
surprised.
remember all of this. He's not.
There's you have your childhood friend and her purple dog,
Why
Poshul.
not?
Crucial.
And Poshul's fucking sick, dude. He's my favorite, and I love
Yeah.
him.
Nice.
The other cool thing about this game is that all the characters in it do have they all have different speaking mannerisms, so none of the characters feel repeated. It's just like
That's honestly
it makes
impressive considering.
it makes the game feel super fresh, like every time you play it, and there's a lot of branching paths in it as well that can lead you to getting or being locked out of getting certain characters to your party. So there's a whole dynamic, and it really encourages replay value. Also, Ethan, I know you don't like JRPGs and grinding,
I do.
so let me tell you, grinding doesn't exist in this
Oh,
video
fucking
game.
poggers, dude. Nice. Nice.
There's no levels in this game. How it works is basically every time you beat a boss, you get a new star rank, which basically adds another magic slot to your list,
nice.
to each of your characters' list. So yeah, you never need to stop and grind for anything unless it's like weapon materials to make new weapons. But yeah, this game, I feel like it gets way too much flack because I will admit it is a step down from Chrono Trigger, and a lot of people do feel that way. But if you think of it less as a sequel and more of like a spiritual successor, or just like even like a spin-off to Chrono Trigger, like I think that this game has a lot to offer. It's one of my favorite PS1 games, and I can't recommend it enough to any RPG fan.
Nice. You got.
Also, the music is fucking stellar.
Nice, dude.
Okay, I'm done.
You sure? You be positive.
I have one more game, but that's enough of Chrono Trigger.
I have a couple more. Let me get my next one out. So let me tell you about... Oh, hang on. Nah, sorry. I mixed up my piles. It seems like this is overrated garbage pile. I got the wrong one. Oopsie. Get out. That I wanted to talk about.
I threw it on the ground.
Is Sly 4 Thieves in Time? Wow, look at this. It's another PS3 game. Yeah, dude.
A rather good PS3 game.
Another great PS3 game. Sly 4 is honestly... I think it gets way too much hate because there's a lot of people in the Sly community that don't like this video game, and I feel like the main reason that they don't like it is just because it's not from Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch.
I feel that's the only reason. The load times are extremely fucking long, but other than that, the game looks great. It's one of the best looking PS3 games in my opinion. It looks incredible. It's on Vita as well, so that's also a thing. It's on 2 consoles you don't own. Wow. But no, it plays great. It feels great. It feels a bit floatier than the originals, but I still think it's great. The worlds are the best worlds that they've done in Sly Cooper. Like, there's only 5 of them, but except for World 3, which I think's a bit poor, the other 4 are really well done. Especially Feudal Japan is great. The Wild West is awesome. Medieval England is a highlight. I really love that world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you also have like Saudi Arabia, like as well. Like you kind of have, it's all based around basically Sly's ancestors. You're traveling in time to go and protect Sly's ancestors because the villain known as the Paradox basically has a massive feud against Sly's father, and instead of taking it up with his son, he's decided, wow, let's just kidnap all of Sly's ancestors and steal their canes so that Sly never exists anymore. Because if we kill his ancestors, he can't exist, right? So that's essentially the plot of the game.
Makes sense to me.
But no, honestly, like this game gets way too much flack. It's really well done, and I hate that that it didn't sell too great because it came out at the end of the PS3's life cycle, and no one really... They got like no marketing either, because a little indie darling came out about 3 months later called The Last of Us. So like
that'll do it.
every single piece of advertising just disappeared from this game. Also, there was a month delay on it in Europe. You can even tell that I was that big of a fan of Sly that I actually have the American copy of this. I imported a copy of this game from the US because it came out in February in the US and then like at the end of April in the UK. So I have an American copy of this. But now, honestly, Sly 4 I think gets too much flack. It's a shame that it's stuck on the PS3. And I feel like more people should play it, especially if you're a fan of the originals and going in with an open mind instead of I'm going in to hate this game. I feel like people should check it out. It's really solid. It's also, it's got the most structure. It's got more linear levels. It's very similar to Sly 1 in a way where your hub world is where you go to get the missions, but a lot of the missions are in its own separate hub areas. So even if you're not a fan of just having massive hub area levels, there's a lot of linear levels in this game. So I'd really check it out if you're a fan of Sly. I feel like this one's the hidden gem. It's not like Jack 4, which is absolute garbage, right? But an actual good 4th installment. But yeah, I'd recommend
I forgot there was
a
Jack 4.
Everyone likes to try and forget, but you know, it happened, and I won't let it live it down.
I've never played a Jack game.
Oh, that's a shit.
I've never played Jack, and I've never played Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, you should really.
I own Ratchet 1. I've just never played it.
You should really play.
I've only played the 2016 Ratchet game.
Yeah, you really should. The 2016 one's great. It's a good place to start.
I'll get to it eventually.
So yeah, you should. Anyway, Sam, how many games?
Just watch the movie and be fine.
No, the movie's garbage. Sam, how many games have you got left?
I don't know, like 2 or 3.
Okay, I've got like 2. Hunter,
how many do you want me to have left?
how many have you got left? Kyle, 1.
1.
2. You got 2.
Okay, 2.
Sam, what's your second to last pick?
All right, so I definitely need to talk about this game, Mighty Switch Force or Mighty Switch Force 2.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games of all time. It's a
So
little
good.
indie 2D platformer, originally on the 3DS, made by WayForward.
Yeah.
People know WayForward because of the Shantae series, and that's probably the biggest reason why this game is as underrated as it is, because everyone just kind of plays Shantae and just forgets about Mighty Switch Force.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a really cool puzzle platformer where you play as Patricia Wagon, who in the first game she's a police officer and she has a little blaster pistol.
Yeah.
And you can shoot enemies and stuff. It's more based on like action than it is puzzle solving. The second game is a lot more puzzle solving because you have a hose and you have to use it to like shoot through pipes to activate switches and all sorts of stuff. And it's just a really nice puzzle platforming game.
Yeah.
Kind of short. There's only like 16 levels in the second game at least. The first one got a remake that has like twice as many levels, but it's really good, and I definitely suggest anyone that likes puzzle platformers pick it up.
Yeah. They also released a collection.
I can't say for Mighty Switch Force 1 because I haven't played that in a while, but Mighty Switch Force 2 has some of the most clever puzzles I've seen in any game.
Yeah.
Like the shit they do, the shit that they do with the hose puzzles is just so creative and clever, and I honestly can't praise WayForward enough.
For sure.
Also, the music's fantastic.
I was just
and
gonna say.
also, I don't mean to like steal your thunder, but in Shantae and the Half Genie Hero, I believe it was, there was a DLC that let you play through the game with Patty's pistol from Mighty Switch Force 1.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Shantae gets like Patty's costume from that game, and I just thought that's really cool.
Yeah, that is
a really cool nod.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's a Mighty Switch Force collection which features 1, 2, and Academy available on Switch, PS4.
Base
Is it
one.
on Steam
Yeah,
as well?
it's on everything.
Yeah.
It's on
I believe
everything.
it's on
Well, there you
everything.
go.
It might not be on Xbox, but it's definitely on PC, PS4, and Switch.
Switch.
Yeah.
You have to try.
Please give that game a chance.
It's
really,
fantastic.
really good.
It's my favorite speed game.
I've like that.
It's so
I've
good.
bought that game 3 times and still haven't finished it. It's funny.
I've bought it 3 times too.
I couldn't count how many times I've bought it.
Yeah, but no, they are good. You should definitely check them out if you haven't.
I own Mighty Switch Force 2 on 3DS, Wii U, and the collection
Same.
on Switch.
Same.
And I haven't finished
Go
it.
team!
That's a record for me. Right, Hunter. What
Alright.
have you got to say
I
for
guess
yourself?
now's about the time that I talk about Transistor, because, you know, even amongst the games that Supergiant has made, I always hear people mention Bastion because it was their first one and a lot of people loved it. I hear people mention Hades because it's the one they're currently working on, and that makes sense that people would be talking about that. It gets regularly updated. I also hear people mention Pyre quite a bit, but no one gives Transistor the respect it deserves, apparently.
Yeah.
And I'm not cool with that because Transistor's my favorite of the bunch. It's a cool sci-fi action RPG where essentially you got like 4 different moves that you can set, and amongst that you can also get more things that modify those moves at least 2 ways. Everything has a lot of versatility. Your loadout is customizable in spades. And aside from that, the atmosphere and setting is done really well. The story is really cool. As far as like, it's a cool revenge story about, in a sci-fi setting. It's really, sorry.
It's fine.
Soundtrack is also just top tier. It actually ties into the main character since she's like a songstress and stuff. So like
The soundtrack
that
is
got a
really
lot
good
of
for Transistor.
yeah, it got a lot of focus and it pays off like in a way that not a lot of other ones do. I like Transistor a lot.
It's a really good game. From the little I played of
Everything
it,
about that game is great.
from the little I've played of it, is a really good game. And everyone should I feel like if you're into that genre, you should really be playing it because it's really well done. Like seriously well done.
All of Supergiant's games have an extraordinary level of polish. So
Yeah, they do. But yeah, definitely go check it out. Now, Kyle, do you want me to jump over you now quickly so that you can do a last one with all of us? I feel like that's what we should do.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I've got a stupid one that I can just kind of say out of the thing. Because I was like, I wasn't going to talk about it, but hey, you know what? We're here. Let's just talk about it. So for me, I can't believe I'm going to fuck it, I'll talk about it, dude. It's one of those games, again, a bit like Croc, where I'm like, hey, maybe it's not the greatest game ever now, especially with the controls, but I'll talk about it because it's a PS1 game, dude. Monsters Inc. Scare Island.
What?
What?
Hello?
Yes,
Why
dude.
has this never come up in my bad
Yes,
game
dude.
phase?
What? Have you not played Monsters? Do you know why you haven't?
No.
Because it's a fucking masterpiece. Dude. Absolute
Sure it is.
masterpiece.
Must be why I missed it.
It's available on
I
the
mean-
PS1 and PS2. I played the PS1 version because I'm poor or something. I don't know. Yeah, but no, Monsters Inc. This isn't a joke. This is a real copy. It's just in a terrible case because I don't know why. But no, Monsters Inc. Scare Islands is just a... It's probably 100% a nostalgia thing because most of these games are pretty garbage. But I just found it was a really fun, like 3D kind of collectible platformer where instead of going around and finding X object in the world, the main goal is to collect enough ooze, as it was called, to terrify a bunch of robots that are hidden around the world. And you got to play as both Mike and Sully, and they both had a completely different moveset, and you could play as either or throughout the entirety of the game. And just overall, I think it's really fun. It's probably aged like crap, but at least the PS1 version definitely has. But I think it's kind of cool, and I like it. And it's one of those where it's like, it's not complete garbage. That's probably why you haven't heard of it, because it's not complete garbage. It's pretty decent. But I like it.
As far as licensed games can
As
go.
far as the Disney licensed games for the PS1 went, it's actually pretty good. I liked it quite a bit. So, if you like Monsters Inc. and you like garbage 3D platforms, go play it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Hunter's just,
All right, now
Hunter's
who's
dying
gonna
from
pull
it,
out
dude.
Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Police?
Cyber Chase, dude. Oh, shout out. Yeah, little shout out to Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase as well, dude. That game controls like dicks. It's awful. But my god, are those cutscenes incredible, dude. You just got like Shaggy going like we're totally in a video game, like. And the bosses are awful. The bosses are always throwing like fucking hamburgers and pies at a fucking villain, dude. That's what all the bosses are, and they all control like ass, like genuinely. In fact, I'm gonna put slash on the thing Scooby-Doo and the Sky Cyber Chase, dude. I'm putting it on there because this game needs more love at how bad it is, dude. Like honestly. And the Cyber Chase. There's a level in Rome in that game where there's like precise platforming jumps, like in
Oh,
but the
oh
controls
god.
don't work. And there's ice levels with ice slides, and the physics
Oh,
is the
no.
worst thing I've ever played in my life. Honestly, if you haven't played Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, do yourself a favor and play it, because then you can judge what platformers are bad and not. Because my god, masterpiece, dude, genuinely. Mwah. What a game. What a game. I also wrote on the timestamp because I wasn't looking. Scooby-Doo and the Cyberpunk.
You silly goose.
Oh my god.
And now I want that DLC. Make it happen. Make that DLC happen.
Jesus.
All right, okay.
Imagine.
2 garbage games out of the way. Sam, what's your final game? Can't be worse than that one.
So speaking of licensed Disney PS1 games,
Oh, Lord.
God.
Tarzan.
Toy Story
we've got
2.
Tigger's Honey Hunt.
Oh my god.
That was close.
So Tigger's Honey Hunt is a 2.5D platformer
Mhm.
that it's pretty good. You know, you collect honey
Is it?
pots. Yeah, it's actually a good game. It actually controls really nice. The platforming feels good. There's a really shitty rock paper scissors mini game as the final boss, and it sucks ass. It makes me want to die. But other than that, it's a fun game, man. It's a
Yeah.
fun game. Me and Gary used to race it daily. Good
He
times.
ruined it. He played the PC version,
yeah.
dude. He played the PC
Yeah,
version.
he did. He did. I even upgraded to N64 to counter it, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't a hard counter, dude. It
no.
wasn't a
Wasn't
hard
enough.
counter, dude. Yeah.
Because he played on N64, I think, at first, and then I was like, all right, I gotta catch up. And then he's like, nah, I'm playing on
Yeah, I
PC
played
now.
on
Fuck
PC
you. I'm
now.
like,
Yeah, screw it. Yeah. And that was when
Jesus.
the Tigger's Honey Hunt speedrunning community died. Truly tragic.
Yeah.
But no,
So,
there you go.
That's
What a
that.
great last game. I should have saved. What a great last game, Sam. Thank you.
Saving the best for
Yeah,
last.
Hunter, what's your final game on your list?
All right. So originally, this topic was pitched as the nichest game we've ever played.
Yeah,
So
but I
think I'm
couldn't
gonna
think of
go with-
niche's game, so we changed it to underrated.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with my original pick here, and that was Dragon Fable. This nerdy
God.
in-browser web RPG that I played as a kid.
I've played
And
it
you
too.
know what? You did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Not that
It's a good
niche.
game.
Got you, bitch.
This is a good game.
All right.
Half of this call has heard of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sam also had
Teaching
like Need for
fucking
Speed
dorks.
Carbon or whatever.
So did Kyle.
Oh,
So
yeah,
did Kyle.
dude.
Dude.
I
So
mean,
did
I think
Kyle.
Sam just owns every game.
Kyle also owns Need for Speed Carbon. I mean, come on, dude. That
No, I
barcode.
own the
that
box
barcode
for it.
says it all. Dude. That barcode says it all.
Anyway, so originally I was attracted to this game as a kid because it was like a fairy tale kind of tongue-in-cheek, threw a lot of puns at you kind of game that I could play for free when I didn't have any new games to play on the consoles, you know. And then I came back to it, you know, a few years ago, and turns out the writing took a major step up the longer it went on. Like, it introduced actual consequences in the story and all sorts of crazy stuff that I wasn't expecting during my little walk down memory lane, and now I still like pay attention to the weekly updates. So yeah,
Very cool.
I like that game a lot.
I haven't played it since like 2010, so
Yeah.
Mm. I've never heard of it. I was one of those normies that
either.
played RuneScape for a good 6 months.
oh, I played that too. Who didn't play RuneScape?
Yeah.
Me.
I wish I didn't.
I was never a browser player.
I don't know what it was about this one that like attracted me to it.
It was like a
initially,
primary
but, yeah.
school thing for me, right? It was like I played Club Penguin when I was in like like however old I was. It must have been like 8, 9, right? Because that was the, and then it was like then someone must have come in one day on the fucking playground and been like, oh yeah, the big thing now is RuneScape, dude. What, you play fucking Club Penguin, you little pussy, dude? RuneScape's where the fucking chads hang out, and it's like, oh, I gotta go chop some trees, dude. Gotta go.
Oh yeah, chop
Yeah.
trees indefinitely.
But no, so I'd never
I have
heard of
not
Dragon
seen them.
Fable, but you've done a lot of
Yeah.
stuff on that game, so.
Oh yeah, I have like a let's play that I do periodically, and I upload music because the channel that used to do that disappeared.
So there you
Makes
go.
me sad.
Just one of the many things.
Also,
on
actually,
Hunter's channel.
since I'm on the music,
on.
some of the coolest guitar shreds known to man are hidden away in this game that 1,200.
Oh my
people
god.
play. So there's that. I like the music in this game quite a bit.
Nice. You love to see it. You love to see it. So there you go, Dragon Fable. Kyle, final game. Dude. What is your final game?
Alrighty. This is the last story for the Nintendo Wii. Hunter, why are you so excited?
I predicted
Have you
that
played
to
it?
myself.
Did you?
I've heard of it. I know about
Oh.
it. I haven't played it, but I've predicted that you would be talking about it.
Dude, I love this game. So, bit of backstory on it. This was one of 3 games part of Operation Rainfall to get 3 games brought to America on the Wii. Those games including Pandora's Tower, Xenoblade Chronicles, and this.
Yes.
This game has been super overshadowed by, honestly, both of those other games.
Mhm.
Xenoblade Chronicles especially, that's gone on to be a whole fucking franchise at this point.
Garbage franchise.
Yeah. Check out our spoiler cast. about it.
You own all of the games.
Trash. Trash. Garbage video game franchise. Dude.
I hate you. But yeah,
Pleasant Valley.
so this game, I feel like it's just kind of fallen out of the people's conscience, basically. No one talks about it ever. When Operation Rainfall games were being brought to the Wii U eShop, what are you giggling about, Ethan?
I thought Ethan was about to throw the disc because there's
I
someone
would,
picking up off the
I
shelf.
would never do such a thing in my life. This one's good. This one isn't game for him.
This one's good.
Carry on.
But anyways, so when these Operation Rainfall games were getting brought to the Wii U eShop, this game was not included. You got Xenoblade Chronicles and you got Pandora's Tower, not this.
Ouch.
Basically, so this game follows the protagonist's name is Zale, and he's part of a group of mercenaries who are all looking to become knights. And similar to Xenoblade Chronicles or Pandora's Tower, I don't know if Pandora's Tower does it, but game has a full English, full British voice cast, whole range ranging from like Ethan's accent
Hello.
to Irish to Scottish. You got the whole fucking country involved. It's pretty great. Combat live action. It's live action battles, and it's also similar to Final Fantasy VII Remake, where in battle you can issue commands to your party members. You can have up to, I think it's up to parties of 6 at a time.
Whoa.
Parties of 4 or 6. This game also used to have Wi-Fi where you could play online with people. I got this game about half a year ago. Wi-Fi was very much shut down by that point. I never got to try it out, which sucks because there's shit lock behind it.
Of course
because
there is. Yeah, of course there is.
Of course there is.
It's a Nintendo game.
Also want to point out, if you want to know who made it, Hironobu Sakaguchi, director from Final Fantasy 1 all the way up to 12, also worked on Xenogears, Final Fantasy Tactics, and a lot of other games. Music's by Nobuo Uematsu, composer of Final Fantasy for a long ass time. I think just as long. The soundtrack is phenomenal. The game's really great. There's a love story between Zale and Callista, the lady on the box. I think it works really well. They meet when they first meet. It's like, if y'all are familiar with Aladdin, it's like they meet in a marketplace. Callista's hiding herself because she doesn't want to get caught. And then Zale like escorts her out of there and brings her to the mercenaries. It's just really cool. The game, it still looks really good. Voice cast is amazing, and honestly, please, if you can find this game for cheap, please get it. It's really good. Unfortunately, there's no other way to play it other than on the Wii. So
Feels bad.
feels bad.
And don't play
Maybe
Xenoblade.
one day we'll get a port.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll get a port.
Play that, but don't play
Shut
Xenoblade.
your yap.
Xenoblade's garbage. It's over there in the pile. It's over there in the pile.
I hate you so
Ethan's
much
opinion and more
sometimes.
on our spoiler cast from a few weeks ago.
It's not. Yeah, if you haven't seen our first impressions, I actually do like Xenoblade, the entire franchise.
He likes bullying me slightly more than he likes Xenoblade.
It's true. Xenoblade 1, at least. I like bullying Kyle about Xenoblade 1 a lot.
Fair
Well, that's just
enough.
because I really like Xenoblade 2. But there you go. And now, for my last
Cap
game...
us off, Ethan.
Yeah, dude. Now, you guys have just been all this weeb bullshit, dude. It's time for normie time, dude. Normie time.
Oh, God.
Do any weeb shit?
Normie
Time for everyone to
Normie-
leave.
Yeah, everyone fuck off. My show now. My show. Yeah,
Alright, bye.
yeah bye, guys. Right. Yeah, guys. How's it going? Yeah, welcome to my podcast, dude. Welcome to my podcast. Yo, Hunter, you can stay if you want. No, Kyle, you stay away. Kyle, you stay away.
Don't worry.
No, you stay away. My final one, I said I was going to mention it, is Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 1 is a
Nice.
pile of garbage that does not deserve... Where is it? You might as well... Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go-
fuck it. Get on the pile. Watch Dogs 2, on the other hand, this is a great running gag. I'm sure audio listeners are loving it, dude. I'm loving it. Hey, bit.ly/thegiggers, you can see these audio jokes. My God, are they great.
The visual
jokes.
jokes, the audio
Visual
jokes,
jokes.
the podcast.
Visual jokes. Ignore me.
Words, dude.
Words are
For
hard.
those listening on audio, Ethan's throwing good games into a pile.
I am not throwing good games. I
Arguable.
threw 2 good games on that pile.
Okay, he
and they're
threw
both
good
the
games
Xenoblade
and Watch
ones.
Dogs 1.
And no, Mario Kart Wii is garbage. I will
You're
stand by that.
garbage.
But
Mario
no.
Kart Wii is how I made friends back in high school.
Yeah,
Me too.
well, I've made friends
That's
on
how I met
terrible
that
video
one.
games, dude. I've made friends on terrible video games too. It's all good, dude. It's all good. But no, Watch Dogs 2 is everything that the original wasn't, which is fun, entertaining, and lighthearted. So, like, honestly, I'm not massive on like modern day open worlds. I'm not like massive on that kind of stuff. GTA 5 is the only GTA game I've ever played. But no, Watch Dogs 2, there's something about this game that was just really fun and different and unique for a Ubisoft game. Because Ubisoft's like makes the most generic shit ever, right? And trust me, I know. I've played them. I'm not going to get my pile of shame Assassin's Creeds. They're up there, dude.
He owns every
You want-
Assassin's
You
Creed.
want my Assassin's Creed pile of just PS4 games, dude? This is my Assassin's Creed pile. You like Assassin's
ready.
Creed, dude? I've got Assassin's Creed.
Pile.
I've got Assassin's
One of those popped
The
open.
whole stack. Garbage.
I've got Assassin's Creed. What a great joke, dude! I love it.
Threw it on the ground.
But no, Watch Dogs.
It belongs to the
Yeah,
streets, dude.
Watch Dogs 2 is that interesting
Throw it to the
game.
Crash 2 tree.
Yeah, where it did a similar. To be fair, I threw Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed 2 is a good game. The rest of them are garbage, but Assassin's Creed 2 is really good. Where Watch Dogs, Ubisoft did the thing that they did with
It's
Assassin's
guilty
Creed
by
with Watch Dogs.
association.
Yeah, where they took a bad video game like Assassin's Creed 1 and turned it into a great video game like Assassin's Creed 2. And Watch Dogs did the same thing. And no one played this fucking game. Literally no one. I'm surprised Legion's even happening. I'm super excited for Legion. That's why I actually care about Legion. But no, Watch Dogs 2 is really well done. It's a really fun open world sandbox with hacking stuff. You can get through the entire game without killing anyone if you want to, by just hacking and taking the mick out of them and beating them around the head with your fist or something, like just beat them. Or you have this rope like tie that you can just like, and it's got like two like ball, like basically like golf balls on the end of it. But yeah, bowler essentially. Yeah, thank you for the word. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you. You have a bowler that you can just like whack people around the head with and stuff like that instead if you want to. You can just completely hack your way through every situation, and it just doesn't take itself seriously. Like the original game was like, oh, it's about this character called Aiden whose niece died in a car accident that was his fault because he was getting hunted down by a group of mercenaries. So now he's going to kill everyone in the fucking city just to prove a point about his niece because he's a nice guy, dude, and he's misunderstood. Whereas this is just like, yo, I'm a hacker, dude. I'll just do what the fuck I want. Like the game doesn't care about its morals or anything. It tells a lighthearted story. It doesn't really care. You can, so much so that people are like, oh, I just pretend my character's shooting rubber bullets because, like, why not? Like, it just seems a bit goofy that he's killing people. But you know, I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 2, and if you haven't played it, it was free on Uplay earlier this week when Ubisoft did it a couple of weeks ago when Ubisoft did its event. So if you watch that, you probably have a copy on your Uplay. So go play it. It's super cheap all the time. So if you're ever in the mood for an open world game that isn't boring as fuck from Ubisoft, check out Watch Dogs 2 because it's actually pretty decent. And I think with that, that's everything. I think we're good to go.
I don't know. I think you need to just tip over that whole shelf of games.
No, I've already got to spend like the next 3 hours rendering this thing. I'm not spending it cleaning up while I do it. It's not happening. But there you go. If you want to see for the video, for people watching on video, there's the pile.
My God.
Plenty of games, plenty of garbage.
Actually visible.
Pardon?
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, there's a load.
Like
yeah.
Oh man.
And 90% of it's Assassin's Creed. It's wonderful. But there you go. That's been our show. Those are our underrated gems so far. We might do another. There's so many games. We could do another one of these and we can bring different people on. So we might do more of this in the future if you liked it. Leave a like. Leave us a good podcast rating. We'd really appreciate it. Let us know. And maybe we'll do more.
Please subscribe on YouTube if you are here.
Please subscribe on YouTube. Yeah. We would really appreciate it.
If not, bit.ly/thegigas.
Yeah, bit.ly/thegigas. Exactly. But with that, Hunter, where can people find you?
YouTube.com/ReaperHunter23.
Yeah, the URLs will have already shown up on the screen now, but it's just like, hey, I might as well let you say it. Kyle, go ahead.
You can find me on Twitter at KDavisSRL or on Twitch, twitch.tv/KDavisSRL.
Yeah, nice. And Sam, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/back.
There you go. Simple as that. You can find me at Chaotic Ether on both Twitter and Twitch. And youtube.com/WaterJames if you want to subscribe to a dead channel. There you go.
Weekly videos every week.
Weekly videos every week. Dude. No, daily videos every week.
Daily videos
Monthly
every
videos
month.
Every year, dude. Monthly videos every day.
Monthly videos every day.
Something like that. Well, that's been our show. Thank you ever so much for listening. You can find us on Monday at bit.ly/thegigas or on podcast services everywhere. Just search for Hot Gamers Only. You'll probably find us. No one else has a stupid name like us, so go ahead. You'll find us. We go live every Monday at 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern. So go check us out. You know where to find us every week. And there you go. That's all you really need to know. But with that, that's been our show. Thank you ever so much for listening/watching. And we'll be back next week with another topic episode of Hot Games Only. But until then, bye.
See you later.
Toodaloo.